From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Hannah Mordeau, and this is your News 8 Daily for Thursday, November 6th. Cooler start to the day right now. Going to be less windy, though, and you're going to see lots of sunshine out there. Highs, though, will only be in the upper 50s.
What can 160 years of experience teach you about the future? When it comes to protecting what matters, Pacific Life provides life insurance, retirement income, and employee benefits for people and businesses building a more confident tomorrow. Strategies rooted in strength and backed by experience. Ask a financial professional how Pacific Life can help you today. Pacific Life Insurance Company, Omaha, Nebraska, and in New York. Pacific Life and Annuity, Phoenix, Arizona.
Happening today, there's no word of if Indianapolis will be one of 40 cities where the Federal Aviation Administration will intentionally reduce flights. As Amy Kiley reports, the FAA says it wants to relieve air traffic controllers who are not getting paid during the government shutdown.
The impact here will be huge for the American traveler.
The FAA says it will cut about 10% of flights at 40 major airports starting tomorrow. That's unless the government reopens. The reason? Air traffic controller shortages. FAA facilities report more than 400 of them since the shutdown began.
They're not calling in sick. They're calling in saying, I don't have childcare today. What do you want me to do?
A controller union leader says the need to address the strain on the system is urgent. The FAA agrees.
And we're not going to wait for a safety problem to truly manifest itself when the early indicators are telling us we can take action today to prevent things from deteriorating.
An airline source says companies got about an hour's notice about the plan. Now they're scrambling to adjust their flights. United says it aims to keep hub-to-hub schedules normal, but the CEO of Frontier Airlines warns some passengers could get stranded. He suggests people flying Frontier within 10 days book backup tickets. Across airlines, passengers leaving tomorrow might not get much warning if they're affected. That's because the FAA initially declined to name the impacted airports.
What the FAA is talking about here is equivalent to canceling about 4,500 flights a day. By my math, that's about 30% worse than the worst day for flight cancellations in the last year.
I'm Amy Kiley for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
It could be a week before 600,000 people in Indiana receive SNAP money for food, despite a judge ordering the Trump administration to use contingency money to continue funding the programs. News 8's Kat Sandoval tells us new guidance from the White House shows only partial benefits could be made available.
I stopped by a local food pantry in Fountain Square called Emmaus. It was a smaller pantry and they had enough to feed 28 families. 32 families showed up as soon as they opened. And the organizer there says they ran out of food and she's never seen anything like this in the 30 years she's worked.
I think they're at the panic mode right now. When they call for their food stamps, they're telling them they're not available, so they're in a panic mode.
Even with the USDA announcement of partial SNAP benefits, it's unclear when the public assistance will resume or exactly how much. For Jenny Chips and her family of 6, the partial benefits are not enough.
No.
Why not?
Because it takes everything that we get with the food stamps and our income to pay our bills and feed our family.
Jenny and her husband showed us what they received. Staples like peanut butter, bread, water, and toilet paper.
Necessities. You're trying to take care of a family of 6 on nothing now.
Basically.
We're on disability, 4 kids. You can't do nothing really. This food will last probably 3 days.
Under the new guidance, there's a recalculated revised formula. The USDA reduced the maximum SNAP allotment for a household by 50%, but there are other factors as well. The executive director for Feeding Indiana's Hungry says each household benefits must be recalculated, which can take a lot of time. And for SNAP families, food is an urgent need.
We're waiting for further guidance, and I think there's additional litigation that's continuing that's going to, I think, shed some light on what we're going to see. But really, at this point, it's difficult to know what households will get.
It's unclear exactly when SNAP recipients can see relief. For now, Feeding Indiana's Hungry recommends Community Compass to locate nearby pantries and free groceries. I'm Kat Sandoval for Wish TV, wishtv.com.
There is some relief for local food banks. The Pacers Foundation and the Herbert Simon Foundation say they will donate $250,000 to the Central Indiana Food Relief Fund. It's part of the Pacers Foundation Drive and Dish initiative. Both organizations say they are giving $125,000 to show a shared commitment to ensuring no one in Indiana goes hungry. In Whitestown, police are asking for patience as they investigate a deadly shooting where they say a woman was shot through the front door when she went to the wrong house for a cleaning job. We brought this story to you as breaking news yesterday on Daybreak. Initially, investigators said it was a home invasion. They said it happened just before 7 yesterday morning on Mays Lane near Main Street. Police tell us that the woman, in fact, was part of a cleaning crew that went to the wrong address. Investigators say a man inside the home shot her through the door. She died on the front porch. A woman who lives nearby says she's stunned.
I honestly feel like, it shouldn't have happened. Don't shoot first, ask questions later. Answer the door, see who they are, see if they have the wrong house. Just don't sit here and take it upon yourself to shoot some innocent person.
Whitestown police say the Boone County Prosecutor's Office will determine whether charges will be filed. Kentucky is now under a state of emergency after the UPS plane crash on Tuesday that killed 12 people, including a child. The state's governor, Andy Beshear, issued the order yesterday. It comes as new details are emerging in the disaster. Investigators now say an engine fell off the plane just before it crashed. Officials with the National Transportation Safety Board say the plane was cleared for takeoff before a large fire started in its left wing. Investigators say they have recovered the cockpit voice recorder, data recorder, and the engine. Officials say people are still missing in the wreckage, though, and they fear the number of dead will grow. Governor Beshear says the state of emergency will help with relief.
It allows us to move resources more quickly through emergency management and the Kentucky National Guard. It allows state resources to be used also through our agencies to be readily available, including disaster resource management, expenses related to response, and more, as well as reimbursement.
Investigators are still trying to figure out what caused the fire and the engine to fall off, and will likely take more than a year for those answers. Back here in Indiana, our reporting partners at the Indiana Capitol Chronicle say third graders are getting held back at staggering numbers due to new state reading standards. New data from the Indiana Department of Education shows about 3,000 students are repeating the third grade this year. That's 7 times more than the 412 students held back in third grade 2 years ago. This year is the first under the new iRead exam requirements that the state approved last year. Last year, more than 10,000 students did not meet the standards, but almost 7,000 were given good cause exemptions to avoid retention. For a full breakdown of the data, head to wishtv.com. Sports now, Indiana Pacers fall to 1-7 after a loss to the Brooklyn Nets. Pacers were down by 1 in the third quarter, but could not hold on long enough. The Nets got their first win of the season, 112-103. Pacers take on the Nuggets next in Denver on Saturday. IU men's basketball team dominates in its debut with a new head coach, Darren DeVries. The Hoosiers pull away from Alabama A&M for an easy 98-51 victory. With the win, the Darren DeVries era is off to a hot start in Bloomington. News 8 sports director Anthony Calhoun was at the game and spoke to the head coach and the players.
Coach DeVries invited Wish TV to a practice before the season began, and one thing that stood out to me while watching the Hoosiers practice was the fact that they had a lot of shooters, and that was on full display when they took on Alabama A&M here at Assembly Hall. The Hoosiers shot over 60% from the field, had 10 three-pointers as they give their new head coach his first win in Bloomington.
We're all new here, and we just wanted to come out and be able to show what we can do. And then also for Coach DeVries, it feels great to get him that first one because, I feel like it's only just a start for him and what he's going to do here.
We have a team, bunch of shooters, so, shots going in, that's a good thing. It carries over the defensive end, and we was getting out running transition. That creates open threes.
I was a little worried tonight our guys were going to be too excited because they were so ready, so pumped to be out there tonight. And it's just one of these special places that there's not much like it in college basketball, and it's certainly a privilege for us to be out there, and our team and our coaches to be out there and performing. And it was a fun night, special night, and hopefully it's the first of many.
So Coach DeVries gets a 47-point win and with his first victory here at IU, but the road gets a little bit tougher here for IU. Coming up on Sunday, they take on Marquette in Chicago. Anthony Calhoun, Wish TV and WishTV.com.
To IT8, IU campus police are investigating 3 separate sexual assaults over the weekend, all reported over the course of 3 days. As IT8's Tim Spears reports, authorities have identified the people involved but have not announced any arrests.
IU junior Marissa Robinson doesn't feel any less safe sitting on campus or at her sorority after hearing about 3 assaults at IU this past weekend, because it's just not uncommon to hear about.
Every year we hear about it happening.
According to the Indiana University Police Department, there was a reported rape at the Chi Phi fraternity house Saturday evening, an attempted rape by someone not affiliated with IU at the Forest Quad late that night, then a reported rape at Eigenman Hall early Sunday. IUPD says all 3 suspects have been identified and it's actively investigating the Chi Phi assault. The Forest Quad attack wasn't directly reported to police, and the victim from Eigenman Hall has declined to prosecute.
I think whether it's a big college like IU or a small college, it's just a society, and I think it's awful, but I think anywhere you go, it's going to happen, big city or not.
Last year, there were at least 3 reported rapes on IU's campus, with attacks at a fraternity house, sorority, and residence hall. IUPD has referred to the time between the start of the school year before Thanksgiving as a red zone, where it sees an increase in reported sexual assaults. Police didn't answer my questions about whether there would be any extra precautions put in place to protect students. Robinson herself has taken a self-defense class and hopes the university takes steps to raise awareness about how students can protect themselves.
Unfortunately, I don't think they can really prevent it from happening, but I do think they can raise awareness.
A university spokesperson declined to comment on the assaults. Reporting in Bloomington, Tim Spears for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
The Motion Picture Association is telling Instagram to stop using PG-13 to describe the app's teen safety features. In a cease and desist letter to the app's parent company Meta, the association asked the tech giant to immediately and permanently disassociate its teen accounts and AI tools from the motion picture rating system. Instagram recently announced that its teen accounts will be restricted to seeing PG-13 content by default. MPA says that it was not contacted by Meta prior to that announcement. The association says Meta's claims about its teen content being guided by PG-13 ratings is false and highly misleading. This has been your News 8 Daily from Wish TV. I'm Hannah Mordeau. Watch us on Wish TV and WishTV.com.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go, connect with Wish TV on Facebook at WishTV.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.